At this critical time that the United States of America is passing through a critical situation of determining who will be their next president in 2020. For 48 hours gone, and the United States of America is yet to conclude on who will emerge as the president of the United States of America. President Donald J. Trump have insisted on going to court. He refused to concede the defeat of the outcome of the election. And the question is, should Donald J. Trump goes to court, is he going to win? Based on some facts that he is laying claims that there are some email manipulations used to vote, and now the total number required to win in the United States of America, the total average is 270, and Biden has reached the 284, while Donald J. Trump is still at 214. Now the question still remains, should Donald J. Trump goes to court, is he going to win?
That's the way the United States will win, and we think we will win the election very easily. We think there's going to be a lot of litigation because we have so much evidence, so much proof, and it's going to end up perhaps at the highest court in the land. We'll see. But we think there'll be a lot of litigation because we can't have an election stolen like this. And I tell you, I have been talking about this for many months with all of you, and I've said very strongly that mail-in ballots are going to end up being a disaster. Small elections were a disaster. Small, very easy to handle elections were disastrous. This is a large-scale version, and it's getting worse and worse every day. We're hearing stories that are horror stories, absolute horror stories. And we can't let that happen to the United States of America. It's not a question of who wins, Republican, Democrat, Joe, myself. We can't let that happen to our country. We can't be disgraced by having something like this happen. So it will be hopefully cleared up, maybe soon, I hope soon, but it'll probably go through a process, a legal process. And as you know, I've claimed certain states, and he's claiming states, so we can both claim the states, but ultimately I have a feeling judges are going to have to rule. But there's been a lot of shenanigans, and we can't stand for that in our country.
I want us to consider this fact before we jump into conclusion of who wins between Biden and Trump. 66.9%, the highest in 120 years. 2, 74.8 million, highest for any presidential candidate in US history. 3, 67.2, the number Donald J. Trump has run 4 million more than the last time. That means he got 4 million this time, more than the last election. Fourth, 4 million, the difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. 5 states yet to be counted. Now, the last one, the fifth one, says there are still 5 states yet to be counted. And also, get it in mind that there are still some votes that are still set aside to be recounted. There are some cities. Now, the question still remains, should Donald J. Trump goes to court, is he going to win? Let us hear what Joe Biden have to say. Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Fellow Americans, we don't have a final declaration of victory yet, but the numbers tell us it's clear. Tell us a clear and convincing story. We're going to win this race. Just look at what has happened since yesterday. 24 hours. We're behind in Georgia. Now we're ahead, and we're going to win that state. 24 hours ago, we were behind in Pennsylvania, and we are going to win Pennsylvania. And now we're ahead, but we're winning in Arizona, we're winning in Nevada, and in fact, our lead just doubled in Nevada. We're on track to over 300 electoral college votes. And look at the national numbers. We're going to win this race with a clear majority of the nation behind us. We've gotten over 74 million votes. Let me repeat that, 74 million votes. That's more than any presidential ticket has ever gotten in the history of the United States of America. And our vote total is still growing. We're beating Donald Trump by over 4 million votes. And that's a margin that's still growing as well. One of the things I'm especially proud of is how well we've done across America. And we're going to be the first Democrat to win in Arizona in 24 years. We're going to be the first Democrat to win Georgia in 28 years. And we've rebuilt the blue wall in the middle of the country that crumbled just 4 years ago. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, the heartland of this nation. I know watching these vote tallies on TV moves very slow, and as slow as it goes, it can be numbing. But never forget, the tallies aren't just numbers. They represent votes and voters. Men and women who exercise their fundamental right to have their voice heard. And what's becoming clear each hour is that record number of Americans of all races, faiths, religions chose change over more of the same. They've given us a mandate for action on COVID, the economy, climate change, systemic racism.